Today, we're gonna look at two awesome drawing devices for digital art: iPad and display tablet. Which one is better? How to decide? As everything in this world, the answer is complicated. My name is Anna, and let's start.
First, let's look closer to the iPad.
I'm gonna draw a portrait on each tablet. This way, in the end of the video, you'll be able to see the differences in my style when I draw on different devices, because there are some. So let's start with some things I like in iPad. It's self-sufficient or standalone. That means you don't need to plug it into the computer to draw on it. That means no wires and portability. You can take it anywhere you want. It works long enough from battery to take it to any place, from your comfortable and warm sofa to the most unusual and mysterious places your art passion will bring you. And if you don't have a big working table where you can keep the tablet all the time, iPad is perfect option for you, because you can just put it away and that's all. It has a touch screen. You can zoom in or out your artwork with your fingers. It also has many helpful gestures which make drawing process much more fun and easier. And there are just a couple things which I can't define as good or bad, just some stuff you need to know if you want to get an iPad. You'll need to buy a drawing program. I would recommend getting Procreate, as it's the best app for drawing on iPad, as I think. There are some free apps, but I haven't tested them, so I can't say if they are good or bad. My choice has been Procreate from the very beginning. And don't forget about getting an Apple Pencil. It doesn't come with iPad.
And you will also need to charge it from time to time.
And just a couple words about its problems. Limited hardware or software abilities. Depending on your iPad, Procreate will have limited number of layers for drawing, especially if your drawing is in high resolution. For example, I have an iPad 2018, and if I draw on the size A4 of paper with 300 dpi, I can use only 9 layers. Not much, especially if you are like me. I use like several hundred layers while draw sometimes. But you may probably avoid this problem by getting more expensive iPad like iPad Pro. But for this money, you can actually get both iPad and display tablet, and you will even have some money left, so... In the end, I should say that I have no idea how Apple came up with this idea to turn the iPad into the professional device for artists and keeping it so cheap. I think they've actually made a revolution with this product, because look at the prices for any other display tablet that doesn't require the computer. Those standalone tablets. It's insane! What even is this? I also found some Samsung tablets, but I've never seen anyone drawing on them, and there is no Procreate there, so nah.
But let me know in the comments if you know any tablets like an iPad, which doesn't cost like a small airplane. I'll be happy to know about them, and maybe even will get one myself. Who knows? Now let's move to the display tablet.
And its advantages. First of all, it works only with a computer. Why is it a good thing? Because you can plug it literally to any computer. From the smallest laptop or even phones in some cases, to your absolute gaming RGB beast with that NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060 if you're a millionaire, of course, considering current situation with graphic cards. Oh well. Adobe. Because you need a computer for the tablet to work, you can use it in all those Adobe fancy professional programs like Photoshop and Illustrator. They allow you to use as many layers as your soul desires. It includes everything you need: pen and pen holder sometimes, and even a fancy glove sometimes. But the main thing is always there: it's a pen. You can use several screens while you draw on the computer, so you can put all the references and stuff you need on those screens, so they won't interfere your drawing area. For example, I have 2 screens plus tablet, so I can draw on the tablet open the references on one screen and watch the series on the second screen. An ultimate workstation. It's a computer screen. What I mean is that you can use the display tablet as an additional screen for your computer. You can put a YouTube video there, book for study, play video games on it. You can use it as usual screen when you don't draw. I think it's pretty cool. A little note, you'll need to get a drawing program. This time it's more as advantage because there are several free programs for drawing on the computer which I think work quite nicely. Disadvantages: it works only with the computer because it's basically just a screen on which you can draw. No processor, no computer brain, nothing inside. If you'll decide to draw somewhere outside, like a coffee shop, you'll also gonna need to take a laptop with you and all those cables and a backpack for all that. It mostly doesn't have a touch screen, so you'll need to use the hotkeys on the side to zoom in or out your art. It's not that portable. With 99% probability, you'll end up using it only on your main computer desk because of cables, and also it's gonna require some space, quite some space on your desk permanently. For example, I need to move it under the computer screen every time I need to type something on a keyboard, and pull the table closer and hide the keyboard every time I want to draw. Not like super extremely comfortable, but that's okay. In general, it's an awesome tool for drawing. I absolutely fell in love with it when I got one myself. I prefer a display tablet for my everyday work as I have a quite fast computer and I need to draw artworks in a very high resolution usually, especially if I'm planning to use them as prints on paper or on clothes and stuff. And I don't know why, but I feel more comfortable drawing on it, especially in the case of super detailed artworks. But I actually have no explanation for this phenomenon. Maybe it's just me.
So, what to buy? Well, it depends on your needs, your art style, and programs you usually work in. It's actually still a super hard decision to make. First, let's look at the art you want to make, at the artists who are drawing in the same style you want to draw too. Probably you're gonna need same tools as they use. But here are my recommendations depending on your level of experience. Novice or beginner? If you are a beginner artist, I would highly recommend you to get an iPad. It might be pricey, but keep in mind that you can use it for watching a YouTube video. Take it to school or university for study. Scrolling TikTok in your bed at 3 a.m. instead of sleeping. And even give it to your grandma to play Candy Crush. Very multi-purpose thing. So if you're kinda scared to spend a lot of money on the drawing device, it's a great compromise. It's gonna be easier for you to convince your brain to buy it. Because you'll be like, well, we are gonna use it everywhere for everything, not only drawing. Experienced or professional artist? For the experienced or professional artist, I would recommend getting both. I'm not kidding, they both are really handy. Especially if art is something that you consider as actual work, I would highly recommend getting both. Invest in the tools. But if I would really need to choose one, I would get a display tablet. I need that access to Photoshop and the computer. I need that super high resolution, unlimited layers and masks. But I've seen many professional artists who use only iPad. It really depends on what kind of art you're gonna make. I guess the easiest way to decide which one is better for you is to answer one simple question. Where do you spend most of your time? If you are a computer goblin like me, then you probably need a pen display. If you love to move around, even just around your house, well, then you probably need an iPad. And just a couple words about the art style differences I have when I draw on different devices like iPad and pen display. First of all, I should say that I've expected differences to be much more visible. I honestly thought it's gonna be like water and fire for some reason, but I can still find some. Mostly they are in the amount of details and the overall sharpness of the image. In both cases, I've been using the simplest round soft brush. But with pen display, it's somehow easier to add those tiny little details. Eyes, for example, on the display tablet, they turned out to be more detailed. The eyelashes look sharper, the eyebrows. This wasn't intentional. I've been trying to work as usual as I could. But on the other hand, on iPad, the art looks more like together, like one piece. Because sometimes the overuse of details make the art fall apart, and I struggle with this issue from time to time. Anyway, the differences turned out to be super small, which actually proves that tools don't matter that much. So choose the thing that fits your needs more, as you think. Hope I've helped you at least a little to decide which tablet do you prefer more. Disclaimer, I haven't tested all of the displays on the market, just a couple. But I currently have both iPad and display tablet, so I wanted to share my experience of using them both. Also, I didn't talk about the pen tablets. These are tablets without a screen. Because for me, the choice here is very simple and it depends on your budget. Because pen tablets are usually very budget comparing to displays. So if you're a beginner artist who are really scared to spend a lot of money on a tablet, or your parents are not ready for such an investment, then get a pen tablet. They're great, you won't regret it. I've been using the pen tablet for 10 years and I didn't have any issues with it. But if you have an opportunity to spend more, well, this video has been made for you. If you've enjoyed my art, I make tutorials and poses references every Friday on my Patreon and Instagram, with all the other occasional artworks there from time to time. Anyway, I'm gonna go and refill my tea and I'll see you next time. Bye!